There's something that 95.7% of men can't resist. And it's not just the way she looks. It's something deeper, something more powerful. It's the woman who walks into a room and without saying a word communicates, "I know who I am." She's not desperate for validation. She's not looking around hoping someone sees her worth. She already knows her worth. That's what makes her different. That's what makes her unforgettable. Most women are taught to get the guy, but the ones who are chased, they've learned a completely different game. These women don't chase love, they attract it. Why? Because they carry themselves with confidence, not arrogance. They don't beg for attention, but their presence commands it. They have standards, not because they're hard to please, but because they know what they deserve. And the man who wants them, he doesn't feel tested by those standards. He feels inspired to meet them. She's not texting all day. She's not trying to keep him hooked with constant updates. She's living her life. He just wants to be a part of it. But here's the real secret. When she realizes she's not being valued, she doesn't stick around trying to prove herself. She walks away with grace, with dignity, and that walk away is what etches her into his memory forever. She doesn't just make a man want her, she makes him realize he has to earn her. Confidence isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's not about showing off, proving something, or pretending to have it all figured out. True confidence is quiet. It's in the way she walks, the way she holds eye contact, the way she says no without over-explaining herself. It's in the way she speaks, calm, clear, unapologetic. She doesn't try to impress because she's already impressed with who she is becoming. You feel it when she smiles without needing a reason. You feel it when she says what she means, not what she thinks someone wants to hear. You feel it when she doesn't need a relationship to feel complete, but she's open to one that adds to her life. Men are drawn to that kind of confidence like a magnet. Why? Because it's rare, because it's real, because it's the kind of energy that doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't compete. It just is. And the moment a woman shows up with that kind of self-belief, a man starts to wonder, what would it take for her to choose me? That's the power of real confidence. It doesn't chase love, it attracts it. Let me know if you want this piece integrated into the full speech or turned into a short form script like TikTok/Instagram style. Finished thinking, of course. Here's a deeper dive into she has standards, not walls, keeping the same tone, style, and flow as before, expanded. She has standards, not walls. There's a big difference between being guarded and being grounded. A woman with walls keeps people out because she's afraid of being hurt, but a woman with standards, she lets people in, but only those who show up with respect, consistency, and real intention. She's not cold, she's not closed off. She's just not impressed by charm alone, because charm is easy, but character takes time to reveal. She doesn't make a man prove himself with tests or mind games. She simply observes. She watches how he shows up. She pays attention to how he speaks about others, how he handles pressure, how he treats people who can't do anything for him. Her standards are quiet but strong. She knows what red flags look like, and she doesn't paint them white just because she's attracted to someone. She won't settle for crumbs because she knows she brings the whole damn table. She's kind, she's open, she's warm, but she's not available to just anyone. And here's the twist. That doesn't scare the right man. It wakes him up. Because a woman with standards makes a man want to rise, not to please her, but to meet the level she's already living at. She's not hiding behind walls. She's standing tall in her truth, and only those who respect it get the chance to stand next to her. Want me to move on to expand the next one? She values herself first? Or remix this one into a shorter version for a reel or short vid? Let's go in deep on she values herself first. This is the heart of what makes her unshakable and irresistible. Here's the expanded version in that same captivating, emotional, real style. Expanded, she values herself first. She doesn't wait for someone to give her value because she already knows who she is. She doesn't put her dreams on pause for a man. She doesn't cancel her plans every time he calls. She doesn't lose herself in someone else's world because she's busy building her own. She's the kind of woman who has a life she loves before a relationship enters the picture. Her friends, her purpose, her passions, her peace, they all matter. So when a man walks into her life, he's not there to complete her. He's there to complement what's already whole. She understands that loving someone doesn't mean abandoning yourself. It means showing up as the fullest version of who you are and inviting someone to meet you there. And here's the key. Because she values herself, she teaches others how to treat her without even saying a word. She doesn't beg for effort. She doesn't chase for attention. She doesn't compete for love. Because she knows real love flows where self-respect already lives. She's not playing hard to get. She's just not willing to lose herself to get someone else. And when a woman values herself like that, the right man doesn't feel threatened. He feels lucky to be in her presence. Want to roll into the next one? She communicates clearly, not constantly. Or need a version of this styled for content like a reel or story post? Absolutely. Let's expand. She communicates clearly, not constantly, in the same impactful, emotionally intelligent tone. Expanded. She communicates clearly, not constantly. She's not blowing up his phone all day. She's not over-explaining her every move. She's not anxiously trying to fill the silence with words just to feel secure. She knows her value, and because of that, she doesn't need to perform. She communicates with intention, not out of fear. When something bothers her, she speaks up. When she likes someone, she says so. But she's not chasing reassurance every 5 minutes because her self-worth isn't hanging on his reply. Her energy is calm, not clingy, direct, not dramatic. And the beautiful part, that clarity is a gift to her and to him, because men, the right men, don't fall in love with noise. They fall in love with peace, with presence, with honesty, with emotional maturity. She's not playing games. She's not using silence to punish or constant texting to prove loyalty. She trusts that if it's real, it won't require chasing, only nurturing. And because she communicates like a grown woman with grace, not pressure, a man begins to realize this is different. She's not here to force connection. She's here to build it slowly, clearly, with intention. And that kind of communication, that's what makes a man lean in, not pull away. Want me to finish with the final one? She moves on when she's not valued? Or are you starting to see a full video or post series coming together here? Oh, this one is powerful. It's the mic drop moment. Let's fully expand. She moves on when she's not valued. In the same emotionally grounded, bold, and magnetic style, expanded, she moves on when she's not valued. She doesn't beg. She doesn't cling. She doesn't try to convince someone to see her worth. Why? Because she already knows it. If he's inconsistent, if he pulls away and expects her to chase, if he gives her breadcrumbs and calls it effort, she doesn't argue, she doesn't explode, she just exits with peace, with grace, with her dignity fully intact. See, she doesn't stay where she has to earn love by shrinking herself. She doesn't fight to stay relevant in someone's life. She doesn't make excuses for a man who keeps showing her she's not a priority. Because the woman who values herself doesn't wait to be chosen. She chooses herself first, last, always. And here's the part most people miss. When she walks away, it's not to manipulate, it's not to get a reaction, it's because she knows if you have to convince someone to treat you right, you'll spend your whole life doing it. So she lets go, not because she didn't care, but because she cares too much to stay in a place where love feels like a war zone. And when a man realizes she's gone, not out of bitterness, but out of clarity, that's when it hits him. She wasn't asking for too much, she was just asking the wrong person. Because when she moves on, she doesn't look back. She knows her peace is more precious than anyone's half-hearted love. And that's exactly what makes her unforgettable. That completes all five. Want me to stitch them into one flowing master speech or break them down into post-worthy reels or carousels? Absolutely. Here's the conclusion to tie the entire message together with power, elegance, and that signature emotionally charged clarity. Conclusion of the speech. So, if you're wondering what makes 95.7% of men chase a certain kind of woman, it's not a look, it's not a dress, it's not how much she texts, laughs, or agrees with him. It's the energy she carries. It's the way she walks. Like, she's already whole. It's how she loves deeply but never loses herself in the process. She's confident but not cold, open but not desperate. She has standards, not walls. She's clear, not controlling. And when she's not valued, she walks. She's not trying to be enough for a man. She already knows she's enough. And that kind of woman, she doesn't chase love. She attracts it, not by trying harder, but by standing in her truth. That's the woman who's unforgettable. That's the woman who gets chosen. That's the woman 95.7% of men can't stop thinking about, even long after she's gone.